Now, in an ideal world, this would never happen. But when you look at the fact it did happen, aren't I so blessed to have been taken full circle? Plus I'm free from all the anger and the bitterness and the vengeance.
A feeling of being blessed. It's not what you'd expect to hear from a victim of a violent crime, a woman who lost so much at the age of 19. Getting to this place of inner peace has been the journey of Anne-Marie Hagen's life.
We just finished our dinner. He walks in with the axe. He attacks my father. I'm standing back and I remember shaking my head. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Within 3-4 minutes, it's all over. We never live in the house again. We leave this community. Everything changed. Everything that was sure to us was changed.
On that terribly dark day, there was no thought of forgiveness. Anne-Marie and her family had suffered an unspeakable loss. As time passed, she appeared to move forward. She went to nursing school, became a nurse, and got married. But inside, she saw the world from the perspective of a victim, from the perspective of a girl who witnessed the death of her father in the most violent way possible, and who had been attacked herself and escaped death. From that day forward, Anne-Marie was transformed from a sweet, innocent young woman into an unhappy, bitter person.
I mean, I was just one nasty, out of control, ugly human being.
That's quite a statement to make.
It's true.
Is that really how you felt you were?
I was nasty. Well, nasty was, I mean, you know, going around like this, okay? You were right about everything. You're argumentative. You don't even know what's wrong with you. If the stress level is 10, you hit the floor in the morning at 7.5. You haven't had any aggravation at all now. You're just on the floor. Okay? So you're telling me you lost a loved one at 25. I'd be thinking, I was 19. So your loved one had a heart attack? My father was murdered. You think a heart attack's a big deal? And also, too, you're continually being triggered into the event. Someone say it's a nice day. Yeah, it was a nice day the day my father was murdered. How, it rained last night? Yeah, it rained the night before my father was murdered. And you had a way of connecting every conversation to that because it's totally on your mind all the time. It's like you can't park it. It's like it's right up in your face. You can't put it in the back.
Must have been a hard way to live.
Yes, I robbed myself of a lot of years, yes. Could have been different. I could have had more peace.
17 years after her father died, Anne-Marie got the call she'd been waiting for. Ronald was being released, and she got ready for the fight of her life. She went to a meeting with him and justice officials, determined to keep him detained. She had no intention of forgiving him.
I had Daddy's autopsy report by my left hand. My intention was to ask him if he remembered killing my father. I thought he'd say no, and I was going to say, really, you don't remember? And I was going to take him through each of the 16 axe cuts. I was going to humiliate him. So we sat for a few minutes. Suddenly the door opened. In he walked with his psychiatrist, his psychologist, and the justice official. The first thing I remarked was how young he looked. And he looked vulnerable. My mother stood up right away, shook hands with him, and asked him how he was. And I thought, traitor, who cares how he is? How can he be your priority type thing? So I said to him, do you remember killing my father? I thought he'd say no, and I was going to say, really? He said, yes, but Tom wasn't frightened to die. I said, why do you say that? And this was an answer that would change my life. He said, I could tell by how he was looking at me when I was chopping him. Tom knew he was going to a better place, and then it hit me. You've gone all your life thinking you're the victim. You're the one who got all the love and support and the kindness and the encouragement. This man has got all the condemnation and the ridicule and the shame. Here he is at 47 years old. He's been detained now for almost 17 years. He's looking for a chance, his first chance, maybe his last chance, and who am I to take it? But when he started to cry and said, I'm to blame, I couldn't take it anymore. Had to rush around the table, had to hug him, told him I forgave him, and I just had to touch him, had to embrace him. It's like suddenly I could see what he'd been through.